Okie dokie. Finally, my my Baphomet came in, and it's pretty fucking impressive. If may say so myself, I love it. It's sweet as hell. Um, I done recorded this shit like 3, 4 times. My phone was fucking up, so I'm gonna try this for the fifth time, I guess. I'm gonna break down what this scary thing is that everybody feels so demonic and all this other nonsense, not really doing their research or digging into it and finding out what it really is or where it comes from and all that other stuff. So I'm gonna try this one more time. Basically, let's just start from the beginning. One man God is another man's devil. And so the Baphomet was created or drawn out first by a person by the name of Eliphas Levi. And this is the first original version of it. And he drew it for the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar ended up being a small group of people who had the knowledge that came out of Kemet or Egypt, as did the Druids and the Gnostics, and these are all small groups. But the Knights Templar, they needed some type of symbol to pay homage to their teachers or the people who had passed down the knowledge to them, which ended up being the Moors. And and they considered the Moors to be basically the perfected man or the perfected beings, because they had the knowledge that was passed on to the Knights Templar was basically about mastering oneself, knowing thyself, balancing thyself, and rising above the lower nature. So the goat ended up coming from two gods, the Greek, not the Greek god, but the god Hathor and the god Ammon. Both were horned gods. Ammon ended up being Amun Ra. I think Hathor was the god of love. It was like a cow god with horns, and Ammon ended up being, I think, the god of all gods. Those two deities came out of Egypt, which ended up, then the Greeks end up taking that, stealing that. Everything was stolen from Egypt. They end up stealing that and turning into the Greek god Pan, which is a goat god also. And then now we have the Baphomet. What's so significant about the goat itself is, or at least the Baphomet and the goat, is that around this time, of course, the Knights Templar were battling with or not really battling, but they were, trying to pay homage to the Moors who had this knowledge come out of Egypt. But they, at the same time, the Roman Catholic Church was trying to be the big man on the block as far as spirituality is concerned. So, of course, the Catholic Church stole a lot of what came out of Kemet. And what they didn't understand, they demonized it and called it demonic or the devil or Satan. So the goat, what's so funny about it is that the rise or the development of Christianity ended up being around the time of Capricorn. Capricorn obviously is the goat. What's so funny about Capricorn is its ruling planet is Saturn or Satan. Saturn is the black planet. Also, what's funny about the Baphomet, it is called the black goat or the scapegoat. Once again, about that black shit, everything being demonized. And that's all coming from the Catholic Church or Christianity. The whole demonization of just blackness, period. Darkness, blackness, was came out of Christianity, basically. When we look at the top, let's start breaking this all down. When we look at the top, we got the pentagram. Nothing scary about the pentagram. The pentagram is basically the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and ether or spirit. The whole Baphomet head being Satan, of course, was distorted. Well, the whole idea of Satan was basically created from Christianity, but went further on with Satanism, and they stole the Baphomet head. And so then you have the pentagram going down, which ended up being the 2 horns, the 2 ears, and of course the face. But what's funny about that here is that you got the pentagram going up, the head being the pentagram going down. That's nothing but as above, so below. The arms, as above, so below. Also on the arms, you will see, well, before I get into the arms, let's get back to the goat head. So it's also called the Sabbatic goat, which is the black goat, of course. But Sabbatic is Sabbath, basically. Sabbath originally was Saturday, which is basically Saturn Day. So it's all, man, this shit is all occult, hidden. I mean, they really thought this shit out when they was developing everything, in the Bible. Bible is nothing but or Christianity, but I'll just say the Bible ain't nothing but a big book of codes, and and they create things to make it all confusing. But on the arm, let's look at the arm. On the arm, on this arm it says solve. You might not be able to see that. And on this one it says Kogala. So the phrase that goes with this is synonymous with the tree of life, or the Kabbalah. Solve et Kogala, which means basically alchemy. It's from water you make wine, which also is from iron you make gold. And what all that mean is basically from your lower nature you transmute or transmutate into the divine being. So that's why what the whole chakra system is about. The root chakra all the way up to the crown chakra, which is why you see the fire here, because it represents the light. Your light, you being above the matter in which you've fallen to. And, the goat head is supposed to be ugly. It's supposed to be scary. Why? Because the whole existence of matter, or being in the physical body, it's putrid. It's ugly. It can be evil, kind of, almost. So it kind of has an evil looking thing about it, but it's about, and that's why you have to rise above that nature, because we're nothing but souls, caught up in the body. So we have to rise above our 5 senses, which is the lower nature, which is the all the nonsense, violence, and what we hear, smell, taste, touch, and smell, and the 5 senses. If you see here, you'll see the balls, and which goes into what they call a phallus, or the penis, and that just basically represents eternity. Eternal life or fertility. The snakes, of course, is nothing but the Kundalini, and once again that's representing the black man, or the Moors, because they were considered the perfected man, because they were spiritual beings, and they had full access to the Kundalini energy. Why? Because their pineal glands was not calcified. That's why black people tend to be very spiritual by nature. The snakes also represent the Ida and Pingala nerves, which goes up your back, and they literally intertwine like that. And in general, the Baphomet is basically about balance. That's why you have the breast, and then you have the penis. The left side is supposed to be um, the negative, or the female side, and the right is supposed to be the balance of the male. It's all about androgyny. Nothing. When we say negative about the female, it's not like bad. What it means is basically the vagina. Vagina takes in. It is the black hole. It is the where creation comes from. And so it is going in. It draws in. It's negative. The male penis goes out, so it's positive. Yin and yang, positive. You know, it's positive, negative, all about balance. To even drive that point home, you got the sun over here and the moon, light, darkness, right? Good and evil. The whole duality thing. It was supposed to have one feminine arm and one masculine arm, but they kind of got the muscles on bump here. But other than that, man, this shit is super dope. They really did a good job. Also, to drive home the five elements, or at least the physical elements, you got the scales representing for the water, which would be fish, obviously. You got the wings, which represent air. Also, this circular disc represents the atmosphere, which is also air. You got the feet on earth, which, being grounded, so that's earth. And of course, you got fire up top. Yeah, this shit is super sweet. What else? I'm trying to think of anything else. So, this is where the whole Satan comes from. Also, Set or Soot. Talked about that in one of my stats. Only thing I'm really trying to figure out is these little berries or pieces of fruit. As you can see, this shit is dope, man. They got the whole earth and everything. They did an excellent job here. It's beautiful. What's also funny too is that, like I said, this is the first version of the Baphomet, but another version, later version, was done by H.G. Geiger, which he had dreads on the goat. Once again, paying homage to but see, the whole connection to the Baphomet and them worshiping, or not worshiping, but paying homage or to the Moors or the black being, is so hidden. I mean, you will barely even make that connection. You have to do a lot of digging to even make that type of connection, because that's like one of the secrets of all secrets right there. Why you worshiping white Jesus? The people who even developed Jesus are worshiping you. So, boy. What else? I guess that's it. I think I covered everything. Yeah, I think that's it. You got any questions or whatever? Holla at me. We can discuss. Peace.